Hey, what's going on, guys? I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. Welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and today I want to talk about Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson, apparently, he's reaching the age of 55 soon, and he's going to get a lump sum payment from Reebok for about $32 million from what I've seen. I want to break some of this down for you because I think that there's a misconception that this is actually a good deal. I'm not here to speak for him, but I am here to speak the truth. And I'm going to break down for you and explain to you why this deal may not be as great as you think it is. So get comfortable, buckle up a seatbelt. We're going to get started on drboycetv.com right now.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm, great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones too late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you're feeling 100% Black and proud and strong and smart and everything else. One of the goals of this platform is to put more money in your pocket and to help you to elevate your economics. I want you to be on top of the world. I want you to win. I want you to be successful. I want you and your loved ones to be in a good economic position. If you agree with me on that, if that is your goal, put a B1 in the chat. B1 means we're Black first. Everybody that's B1 is welcome in this space. So anyway, I want to talk about Allen Iverson and this deal he made with Reebok. I don't know how many of you know about this deal, but Allen Iverson made a deal many years ago where at the age of 55, he was going to get a lump sum payment of about $32 million. And from what I've seen in the deal, it looks to me like that date is coming soon. And I don't know how old Allen is. Allen is right now. I know he was a great basketball player. I know that he was, just awesome to watch. And right now he's 50. So I can't remember when he's going to get the money, but I believe he gets it when when he's 55 years old in the year 2030. So I'm looking that up just to be sure, make sure I get my numbers right. but a lot of people have talked about this deal. And from what I understand here, yeah, he's going to get the money in 2030. It's going to be $32 million. Now, here's the deal. A lot of you may think that this deal is a great deal. And I'm not here to say that it's not. I ain't never been one to sneeze in the face of $32 million. Hand me $32 million right now. I'm going to say, okay, thank you very much. But let me just say this. Allen Iverson, if you remember, how many of y'all remember how great Iverson was? How many of y'all remember that this man, pound for pound, might be one of the greatest, if not one of the greatest, if not the greatest player in the NBA, in the history of the NBA for his height. If he had been Michael Jordan's height, he would have been Michael Jordan, in my opinion. I think that this man was extraordinary. And let me just tell you, this deal may not be as great as you think it is. So if you recall, give me a yes in the chat if anybody remembers the Allen Iverson deal. How many of y'all even knew about it? That I saw it in Black Enterprise. In Black Enterprise, a publication I respect. They were talking about this, and everybody's kind of celebrating this and as a savvy business move. And I have an obligation to speak out because, my doctor's in finance. And so with things like this, I have to be the bad guy a little bit and say things that might not sound popular at the moment. But I hope that you can hear me. I hope that I can say this and still be loved. Give me a yes in the chat if that's okay for us to disagree and to still love each other. Let me know if that's all right. All right. So here is the deal. So Allen Iverson is supposed to get $32 million at the age of 55. He's going to get that in the year 2030. Now, a lot of you that have been part of the Black Business School, some of the things we talk about in terms of relationships and money. Now, from what I have read, his ex-wife is going to get a big chunk of that money. I think she's getting half of that right there. So bad relationships can be very costly financially. And as you know, Allen Iverson ran through probably $100 million in his career, probably some number that was close to that. probably some number that represents 10 generations of generational wealth, because unfortunately nobody ever sat him down and really talked to him about the preservation of wealth, right? He knew how to keep the ball on the court and not do a turnover, but when it came to his money, there were a lot of turnovers, a lot of fouls, a lot of dribbles out of bounds, a lot of things that he did financially that I think were just harmful and sad and kind of bad. You know, it kind of broke my heart, you know, to hear about the gambling and everything else, and you know, and just the excessive spending. And that's cultural. This is why, you know, in my book, The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power, I always explain to you all consistently that economics is culture. So it doesn't matter how much financial training you have. Financial training cannot overcome bad culture. All right. So with that said, though, Allen still had a great career. You can't take that away from him. Reebok signed him for good reason. And from what I understand, I think his first deal was about 10 years, $50 million. Not bad. It's what he deserved. He probably deserved twice as much as that because he's that good. But then there was the deal in 2001 that I'm going to address where he got he was scheduled to get, I believe it was $800,000 a year for life. That's good. and then also get $32 million in a lump sum payment at the age of 55 in the year 2030. Let me tell you why, in my humble opinion, that was a terrible deal for someone of his talent. Let me just explain this. This is not a diss on Iverson. I understand that because he had his excessive spending habits, this might actually be better than nothing. Chances are, if he'd gotten what he really deserved, that he might have blown that money too, because sometimes when we're young, we make mistakes. So here's what I want you to understand. There's a concept that we talk about a lot in finance called the time value of money. And what the time value of money basically says is that a dollar today is not the same as a dollar tomorrow. So if you extrapolate that to $32 million, $32 million today is not the same as $32 million tomorrow, which is not the same as $32 million 24, 25 years from now. So what you can actually do, and there's mathematics behind this, is you can say to yourself, you can say, okay, if I'm going to get $32 million in 30 years. I think, let's say Iverson was 25 years old when he signed the deal. If I'm going to get $32 million in 30 years, what is that amount worth right now? Like what would that translate to right now? Right? It wouldn't be worth $32 million right now. If I told you it's just 2025, and you say, hey, Boyce, you owe me $1,000, and I say, I'm not going to give you $1,000 now, but I'll give you $1,100 30 years from now. How many of you would rather take that deal? Give me a yes or no in the chat. Let's say I owe you $1,000 today, and I say I'm going to give you $1,100. I'll give you more than that, but you got to wait 30 years for the money. How many of you would take the $1,100 in 30 years over $1,000 right now? What would you do? Would you take the deal? Carla says no. Toby Williams has a yes, but I don't think that he's saying yes to the deal. I think he's saying yes to something else. Well, let me just give you your answer in advance. Sheila Hawkins is a smart lady. She said no, and she probably should have said hell no. Christopher, you in Cleveland, y'all should have said hell to the no. Hell no, Anita, hell no, Garnell, hell no, Carletta, right? Y'all are smart people. Why? Well, because you inherently understand the time value of money. You inherently understand that if I tell you, hey, I'm going to hold your money, I'm going to make interest off your money, I'm going to invest your money, I'm going to control your money for 30 years. And then when the 30 years are up, I'm going to give you a little extra, measly little $100 extra to make up for that. You're going to say, no, that's not fair. That doesn't make sense. That ain't right. Right. And you're right to say that's not right, because you inherently understand a very important, one of the most important concepts in all of finance, which is the time value of money, that a dollar today is not the same as a dollar 30 years from now. So for Allen Iverson, when he signed that deal, and Reebok put that $32 million number in front of him at the age of 25, 26, however old he was, $32 million in 2001 is not the same as $32 million in 2030. Do you get what I'm saying? $32 million today is not the same as $32 million 30 years from now. $32 million 30 years from now, it depends on which model you use, mathematically could be worth as little as $3, $4, $5, $6 million today. Right? And I'm being generous when I say $6 million. If you use the models that I used to teach when I was on the faculty of Syracuse, and the things we did in my doctoral program, you would probably find that $32 million in 2030 might have been worth a lump sum. If you took that as a lump sum in 2001, that would be worth no more than $10 million. And again, 10 million is a generous number. It might be more like 6 million. Why is that? Well, because with that money, you could take that money, you can invest it, you can grow it into much more than $32 million, right? Now, here with Iverson, you have to have a caveat, though. The caveat with Iverson is that this poor guy, because nobody trained him how to manage his money, he was blowing money like crazy. He was throwing money out the window. So to that extent, him getting less than what he deserved was better than him getting nothing at all, right? Because I can tell you all that a lot of you are afraid to invest because you're worried about losing money. Well, let me just tell you, the best way to lose money is to spend money. The best way, if you want to know the worst investment that you'll ever make in your life, I want you to go to the mall. I want you to buy $10,000 worth of Gucci socks and Gucci drawers and some Coach shoes and a Bugatti purse. I don't even know if Bugatti's a brand. I think that's a car. Or Bulgari. I don't even know the damn brands. They all suck. But anyway, go do that, and then I want you to see how much wealth you have after you go and empty your bank account buying luxury items. You're gonna get a whole lot of self-esteem, but you're gonna have a whole lot less money than you had before. So spending money, which is unfortunately something Iverson was known for, and gambling away money. These are the types of things I even write about in my book in terms of cultural habits that will destroy you financially, that will ruin not just your wealth. I don't care about Iverson's wealth. I'm thinking about his children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. A man who made the amount of money Iverson made, his great-great-grandchildren should never have to work a day in their life. His great-great-grandchildren who live in the year 2120 should not have to ever work for anybody their whole entire life. But unfortunately, because of the culture, they always tell you about the culture. You need to be part of the culture. Embrace the culture. Dr. Boyce, you ain't for the culture. I'm not for any culture that involves us signing ourselves up for slavery. I'm not part of any culture that says that every time we get a bag, we're supposed to blow the bag. I'm not for any culture that says I'm supposed to just spend every nickel I have and screw my kids and grandkids and then end up having to serve a white man for the rest of my life and get on my knees and tickle his balls in order for me to make him happy enough for him to pay my rent. So really with Allen Iverson, this is what bothers me. This is what concerns me, is that I wish this brother had been as interested in wealth preservation as he was in playing great basketball. He was a genius on the basketball court. He was extraordinary. He was an absolute maestro when it came to a basketball. But unfortunately, nobody taught him that same energy has to be applied with how you manage your life. You manage the ball very well. We need you to manage the bag very well. To manage the bag as well as you manage the ball, because the real game for Allen Iverson wasn't when he played in the NBA. The real game for Allen Iverson is the game of life that he played after he left the NBA. And I don't know if we work as hard to prepare our young people for the game after the game instead of just preparing them to play the game. All right. So anyway, with that being said, please do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. If you want a copy of my book, The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power, or also we have financial flashcards and workbooks for children, you can go to drboycebooks.com. That's drboycebooks.com. And we also have something that you guys can take a look at. If you go to blackwealthvault.com, a lot of you were asking questions about how to do certain things when it came to your economics, how to open your first brokerage account, how to make your first 5K in the stock market, AI tools that can help you make money right now, things like that. So what I did was I created these things called Dr. Boyce cheat sheets. Dr. Boyce cheat sheets are basically one-pagers that get you started into whatever area of wealth building that you're interested in. And so blackwealthvault.com, which is what you see on the screen. That's where you can take a look at the Dr. Boyce cheat sheet. So write that URL down. If you think that I can help you in some way, then feel free to go to blackwealthvault.com. I'll show you what the cheat sheets look like. Here's the page. And basically you can unlock your legacy. So feel free to take a look at some of this. We've got buying your first real estate property. That's a cheat sheet. Build why you need an emergency fund now. Building an emergency fund quickly. That's a cheat sheet. Credit score fixer formula. So things like that. Also, how to open your first brokerage account. The Dr. Boyce blueprint of making your first 5K in the stock market. All that stuff. Right. I wrote my dissertation on the stock market. I'd love to support you in this topic. Now, with that said, let's get back to the lecture at hand. I'm about to go. We're about to do stock option class in a minute. So I know a lot of you are part of the coin program, but I got to be quick with this. So let's finish talking about Allen Iverson. We're talking about Allen Iverson's deal. He's going to get $32 million from Reebok at the age of 55. I'm not mad at this at all, because for a guy like Iverson, this is a good deal in the primary sense that Iverson is preserving something out of this massive amount of money he could have had. Allen Iverson, I hate saying it, but he should be worth about $400 or $500 million. I don't get the sense that that's what's going on right now, even though he's got a powerful legacy as a basketball player. I don't know if his economic legacy is just as strong as his basketball legacy. And so with this deal, the $32 million that he's supposed to get in the year 2030, I'm not saying that's just the worst deal in the world. I'm not saying that he's as badly off as a broke person. I'm saying, though, that Reebok was probably super excited when he signed that deal. They were probably jumping up and down when they said, oh, my God, we can't believe they fell for it. right? I believe that Reebok, who probably has a slew of experts who understand concepts like the time value of money, I'm willing to bet you that they were like, holy crap, I can't believe that we just got a superstar athlete like Allen Iverson to basically sign a lifetime deal with us for an amount of money that is a fraction of what he's truly worth. I think that a better deal for Allen, if I had been representing him, I would have probably said something like, "No, we're gonna go ahead and take the money." I think they paid him $5 million a year for a 10-year period. I would have said, let's re-up the deal. You're going to pay me $10 million a year now. So you pay him $10 million a year. And then we're still going to have the lump sum that appears afterward. We're still going to have the long-term plan, but we're going to get the short-term plan. So we're going to go and we're going to go ahead and you pay us that $10 million a year. We're going to invest that. We don't need you to do that for us. And then also we're going to take a lump sum and we're going to go and put it into some sort of tax deferred account, that meaning that he doesn't pay taxes on it when he withdraws the money, and it's going to be allowed to grow tax-free for the next 30 years. And by the time Allen is 55, he won't be getting a check for $32 million because he'll have $200 or $300 million in the bank. That's the direction that we're going to go. So ultimately, this is what I would want for him because his legacy deserves it. Let's just be clear. I want to make this clear so I don't end up coming off like I'm hating on Allen Iverson or Reebok or on this deal. I loved Allen Iverson. He was a great athlete. He was an extraordinary player. I just really want brothers to win in the game of life in addition to the game of basketball. I'm getting tired of us going through $100 million and having that money just disappear. The story about Antoine Walker made me sick because I went to school with Antoine Walker. When I heard that he lost $108 million or whatever the number was, I was sad because I remember Antoine in college. And I guarantee you that if I went back in time and talked to him back in college and said, hey, man, you got to change your head. You can't do this. You're going to blow all your grandkids' money. I bet you Antoine would not have even listened to me. He didn't listen to me. I was a leader on the campus. I a lot of the basketball players were reading my articles actually back then. And Antoine I don't think he was one of them. And I used to talk about these black wealth concepts way back then and just say, like, look, man, when you get an opportunity, you have to go represent the whole hood and make sure that the whole hood is living good because of what you did. The whole hood cannot live good if you are just running around just handing out $100 bills, paying your auntie's rent or paying your cousin's car note. The whole hood lives good when you create industry. The whole hood lives good when you create trade and commerce in that community. The whole hood lives good if you go back there and you get together with those white folks and those banks and all these people that are jocking you because you're a basketball player, and you shake them down. You say, hey, look, I need Bank of America in the room. I need Chase Bank in the room. All y'all trying to get autographs. I need Coca-Cola in the room. I need all these corporate backers in the room. And we're going to raise $1 billion and we're going to go build a factory in our community. And I've got this panel of black experts who are going to deploy that $1 billion of capital. And they're going to make sure that the whole hood lives good. We're going to create jobs in that hood. We're going to create wealth in that hood. We're going to create economic incubators in that hood. We're going to make sure that everybody in that neighborhood that I come from, everybody that represented me when I was broke, everybody that fed me when I was hungry, everybody that gave life to me when I was dead, everybody there is going to live as good as I am because that's the long-term economic plan. So I asked you, black man, I asked you, black woman, I ask any of the athletes that are out there, what is your long-term economic plan for anybody other than yourself? And I know, and here's the thing, Landra is making a great point. That's a great point. Antoine Walker is now spreading financial literacy through the years. And I love that because I learned a lot from listening to uncles who told me, don't do what I do, right? You can learn a lot from people's mistakes. They say that a wise man learns from his mistakes. A wiser man learns from the mistakes of others. Now, so again, when you talk about Antoine Walker, I want to be 100% abundantly clear. I love what he's doing. But I'm tired of us generation after generation making the same mistake. I'm tired of us assuming that every generation is supposed to be young and stupid and blow the whole bag, blow $100 million, and then go teach financial literacy courses after it's over with. Don't blow the $100 million. It's better to teach the course when you're sitting on $1 billion than it is to teach the course when you're sitting in bankruptcy court. So I love what Antoine's doing. There's nothing wrong with what he's doing. But what I'm saying is at the end of the day, you got to do it right the first time. You got to have the right advisors around you the first time. These black athletes, they go to the league, they get surrounded by people who are not black. And next thing you know, these people are sucking all their money money out of their pocket and dropping them off back in our community when they're left for dead. They drop them off when they got the drug addiction. They drop them off when they got the baby's mamas. They drop them off when the pockets are empty. But don't drop them off then. Drop them off when they got money in their pocket. Drop them off when they have opportunities. Drop them off when they can bring resources instead of dumping your problems on us. And so there are a lot of athletes that are doing this. Jaylen Brown is my favorite. I don't know Jaylen. I met a guy who said he's friends with Jaylen's brother, and he said that he wanted me and Jaylen's brother to talk. We never got around to it, but at some point, I'd love to support any of these guys that are doing the right thing. And I think at the end of the day, here's what you need. And this is what I'm going to say. Ice Cube actually, who I did talk to when he was doing his plan for Black America, or what he put together. I love talking to Ice Cube because Ice Cube gets it. Let me explain what Ice Cube did that I think all these guys need to pay attention to. Ice Cube understood that he did not have to do it by himself. Ice Cube understood that there are PhDs out here, there are wealth experts out here, there are all kinds of people out here that have expertise that can deploy the plan better than him. Ice Cube understood that he's a rapper. He didn't come in and think that he was suddenly an activist or political science expert. He didn't think that he was a wealth expert. Right. So basically what I would say to any of these guys trying to do that thing is you need thinkers in the room that understand how business works. You need people that are in the room that understand how industry works. You need people in the room that understand how to take $100 million and turn it into $1 billion. You need people that care about the Black community that also understand how you can deploy the resources in a specific way that is not too capitalist, but not too socialist. Right. You're not being exploitative, but you're also not basing the model on charity. Charity does not work. I know that we think it works, but it doesn't work. It's not a sustainable business model. So the last question. So anyway, do me a favor. Please hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. This podcast is on Spotify. So if you go to Spotify, you look up Boyce Watkins, you'll find the podcast there. And I'm going to address one more point and then I'm going to get on out of here. David Hughes says, your points are very good, but I feel you missed out on an important point, which is that AI was a trendsetter during that era. His marketability is worth more than the contract. You're 100% correct. We're not even disagreeing. I thought you were disagreeing with me. It sounds like we're on the same page. I agree. Allen Iverson was the juice. I mean, this guy was amazing, right? So he wasn't just a great athlete, but you're right. From a marketing standpoint, this man set trends. People dressed like him. He defined culture. He was kind of like then what Kendrick Lamar is right now. Right. He was back then kind of what, if you look at people that are culture, that define culture, he's right there. He was right there at the top of it. And so that right there even says even more about the marketable value of an Allen Iverson. So I don't like the deal. I think it's fine. I'm happy for him. But I really, really think that an opportunity was missed. And as you all know, the word poor stands for passing over opportunities repeatedly. That's what poor stands for, passing over opportunities repeatedly. So don't be poor. We're going to be rich. We're going to go make it happen. Let's go get it done. All right. So anyway, if you want to go take a look at the Dr. Boyce cheat sheet on how to open your first brokerage account or anything else that I put together, any other one-sheeters, just go to blackwealthvault.com. That's blackwealthvault.com. Also a reminder, the All Black National Convention is happening in Atlanta. It's going to go down August 21st to the 23rd. And so if you want to get together with other wealth builders from around the world, I think 6 African presidents are coming or something like that. So this is the greatest gathering of intelligent Black people in the history of the world. And we are there to make plans. So if you want to join us, just go to allblacknationalconvention.com. That's allblacknationalconvention.com. I'm out of here, guys. Have a great day. Thank you so much for listening. Peace.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones too late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV.